This is Cherry from the office, and this is Alex. She's my NST from Romania. In this year, she will be helping us to design the education in the ISET UK. And today we are going to tell you a little bit more about education, why is it so important, how can you make it right in your LCs. At first, I'd like to start off with
Okay, so we're going to start off with presenting you the agenda, and it's going to be like this. Cherry is going to tell you a bit more about the members education cycle that ISEC in UK has right now and its importance and its definition technically. Then I'm going to go into defining educational needs and some tools for how to measure them and when to use these tools. And then we're going to have a practical part in which you will have to pause the video and fill in. You'll see when we get to that specific moment. And then Cherry's going to close up with some beautiful ideas. Okay?
Cool.
So.
Yes, so to us, we want to tell you a bit why education is so important. It's because education is basically a tool for you to empower your members to understand how they can work the daily tasks more efficiently, and it could be a very, very powerful tool to unleash the power to make their life easier, basically. So for example, as a member of OGV, they will need to deliver sessions about value delivery for the EPs, but they don't necessarily know what is value delivery, nor do they know how can they run a lead sessions. So this is the time when you come in and give them a lead sessions and tell them, okay, this is basically how you run lead sessions with your EPs to empower them to have a leadership development journey with them. And so this is the idea of why we have to run education properly in our LCs to make sure that our members actually have the right tools to empower them to perform their job. Cool. So in front of you, there's a member education cycle. This is designed based on last year by our lovely Kimi. In this year, we are gonna update it in a nicer layout. Yeah. But the idea of this member education cycle is that we give you a guideline from the national point of view of what kind of education you should be downscaling in your LCs in different point of time. So yeah, so as I said, this is more like a guideline for you. You don't necessarily have to do everything. Take it as some guidelines and take whatever that is suitable for your LC reality. There's different tape down here. You can have a look, and this is some national education plan which consists of what each conference should be talking about, and then you can take it into account and you don't have to repeat the same message. And you can see a general education cycle for all members, and at what channel we would downscale these knowledge and what kind of knowledge we should talk about and when. And yeah, so basically, and there's different functions tape for you to understand at which point of time what kind of knowledge should be downscaled as well. So you can design your functional training cycle based on these tapes. Cool. So you can explore this in a deeper level when you have time.
Coolio. Then let me show you how the tool that is going to represent your life for the next year is going to look like. The blank version of it looks a little like this. And so just to explain a bit, you have the time, you have the weeks for each month, you have your key operations, which is actually going to be the LC focus, the TMP, which is going to be like, you're going to put here the general knowledge that the member should have. And you can choose if you want to color code it and link it to the LCM, so stuff that's going to be delivered in LCM or stuff that's going to be delivered through team trainings and local events. Then you're going to go into the functions, like each function, and what you're going to do is like take from the MEC and then go inside each function and fill in the topics based on your current reality, when your regional inductions are going to finish and everything. We are going to work today on just what's up until maxes. So we're going to focus just on this part here, September, the end of September and the month of October. Okay, Having said that, the way we're going to go is like, I want you to have opened in front of you the ISEC UK education cycle. I want you to have opened this tab and the J2L recruitment timeline in order for this to work. So you're going to need to have these three things opened. And the next thing we're going to do is like, we're going to go down here inside this LEC template, and then you're going to duplicate, oops, sorry, wrong button. You're going to duplicate it and rename it with the name of your entity. Let's take Bristol as an example. So this is just for ISEC Bristol. So this is the blank sheet that only ISEC Bristol is going to use. So we can all see like what is their educational focus in this period. Okay, and let's say that the first thing we're going to do is like, we're going to go into the guidelines, so into the MEC, and we're going to check general knowledge. So let's see the month and the topic. So these are the things that should be delivered in the month of October, the ISEC way, everything regarding basic understanding for ISEC. So what you want to do is like, check these topics and put them here, okay? So we're gonna go like for TMP, let's see, for Bristol, what would be the regional induction. Bristol has regional induction in so they have regional induction on the 15th of October. That's like the second week of October. That means that they can start their activity on the third week of October. So what we're gonna do is go here and look at the third week, which would be this one. So here is like when they need to start their activity. Here is when they have a regional induction. Okay, cool. So then we're gonna go here and look for general knowledge, and let's just put here like, you need to make sure that you're not overlapping in your local education cycle what is going to be delivered inside the regional induction, okay? So put here what's not going to be covered there, and it's mainly we're going to put here our products, because this is not going to appear inside the regional induction. And you can check all the other topics as well, you know, and see like at the beginning of experience, you can also present them the platforms, because these are not in the regional induction as well. So our products, platforms like Expa and Podio and everything they're going to use. So this is like the general thing. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into the specific for each function. I'm going to choose OGV as an example right now. So for OGV, we're looking at, okay, what should be done in the first week after they join. That means like the week after the regional induction. They need to have product knowledge over their function. So global volunteer product knowledge. So we're gonna go to OGV here and be like, after regional induction, they need a training on product knowledge for OGV. Product knowledge, OGV. What is OGV? What's its relevance? What does it stand for? How does it develop leaders, customer flow? These are the things that they need to know in order to actually start operations, okay? And you just look here and see like when these trainings should be delivered, like when it is recommended for them for these trainings to be delivered, and the topics. And you check out the knowledge that's going to be covered in each topic. And you do this for each function. The thing that we want you to remember is that when you do these things, you also need to consult with your EB. So you all need to be aligned with the trainings that are going to happen, because you are all going to work for them. Okay, you as TM are responsible for doing this, like having this filled in and making sure each training happens, but you can't fill it in all by yourself for the other functions. So work with your EB. Okay. I got into the instructions. Now, let me tell you something about those educational needs that we just skipped over. So, for this, for the people that were in NTMM, I gave you like these short steps that you can pause the video and read. It's very simple. And I'm just going to continue with the definition of educational needs, which is any need revolving around the development of a new skill or the improvement of a current skill in order to facilitate the realization of operational tasks in your entity and leadership development, the essence of ISEC. Okay? Then we're going to talk about the tool that we use to identify educational needs, and we use needs assessment. And needs assessments can be in the form of surveys or in the forms of interviews. You can pause and check out what the kinds of are for, the good for, the features, and the specifics for everything. Okay, but I'm gonna move on. And the needs assessment. Follow these guidelines like when you design your needs assessment. And what I'm going to tell you is like you don't need the needs assessment in the beginning right now because you have new members. You already have the MEC as a guideline to develop like the beginning. But after Maxis, and we're going to get to that later, you're going to need to check the current level of knowledge of your members. So you're going to need to assess like what are their current levels in education. Okay, so make sure you follow these steps. And when it comes to interviews are usually structured like designed using the survey results because they get into more detail. Like after you've seen the statistics, the general overview of your entity, you can use individual interviews with all the members to go into further detail, like what they think would help them develop themselves more and what they would find helpful for their future development in ISEC. Okay? So, pause, read, everything's gonna be okay. Cool. And now we're gonna go back to this. Should I or should I not? Okay guys, so let's go into activity space right now. And what I'm gonna want you to do is just, as you've seen, duplicate your sheet. Like right now, just, pause me, duplicate your sheet, and rename it after your entity. It's okay, I'm still gonna be here, like we're still gonna be here. And after that, just do what you've seen the steps to be, like go into the MEC, check general knowledge, and put it in your entity, like right now. We're waiting. Okay. And don't forget to check your timeline and see like when is your operation starting. So make sure you take that into account when putting in the dates for here, like what is the knowledge that is going to be covered up until Maxis. All right. So, whoops, sorry. We actually have a recommendation for you, like this, and these have like the final deadlines, like by these dates, these trainings should be delivered in your entity up until Maxis in order for your members to actually start operations. Okay, so you can just pause us and look a bit. All of these topics, you'll find them inside the members education cycle in their respective tabs. So for TMP, you're going to go into general knowledge tab. For TM Finance Mac, you're going to go into each function sheet. Okay? Just do that and complete your LEC right now. And don't forget to check with your EB, like if these, like their functions have the right topics, or if these topics are relevant for your entity. If not, then just change them according to your own reality.
Exactly. The importance of these for you to deliver all of these knowledge before Maxis is because for me as an agenda manager, I'll go away and take that into account that all of you is gonna have these knowledge in all of your members, so we don't have to duplicate all the sessions and run the basic knowledge again, and we can actually scale up the knowledge level that we are gonna deliver in Maxis, and there will be giving you much more values in all of the sessions instead of doing the same thing during Maxis. And we trust you that you are going to provide you the best knowledge to your members, and we really need your alignment in order to make this happen. And tell us if you have any questions.
We're here, just ask us. She's getting paid for this.
Bye bye.
Bye.